reflect the views and opinions of our advertisers and management of Pacific Telestations Incorporated. You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Great and exciting show tonight. A good friend of mine, not only a good friend of mine, but my doctor as well, Dr. Chris Dombrowski. And we're going to be talking medical marijuana and other things that this good doctor will be telling us in regards to naturally treating ailments and things of that nature. Good evening, Doc. How you doing?
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Fantastic.
Doc, let's go back in time, okay? I got this time machine. Let's go back in time. About 13 years, okay? You ran for senator. You talked about the medicinal use of medical marijuana. Some folks thought you were off your rocker, but there are a lot of great folks out there right now who, like an Einstein, who at one point they thought it was off his rocker as well. Here we go, 13 years later, from 13 years back, 2 states outright legalize even recreational use of marijuana, about 16 for medicinal use. Correct. They heard you. Your take, why are we still discussing this issue?
Well, let me say this. The only reason I did the speech for the Rotary Club last week on this issue was as a favor to Phil Flores, because he gave us the loans to get the hyperbaric chamber at Harmon Doctors Clinic. I turned down every other news organization. Yeah, why are we here? Why are we still discussing this? That's a great question. I have no idea, but I can tell you this, Jesse, between you and me, you got the last debate. This is it for me. If you don't get it by now, I can't see how you will with the information that's on the internet.
Sure. I mean, it's being considered now. It's highly debated as well. It still has both sides of the debate. Of course, the for or the against. Of course, we've seen over the years now. I mean, we've had a doctor, a major news network now, who did a story called Weed. Basically, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who did a story basically on that, and he's been a convert. On the medicinal use, and he actually saw the research and actually hands-on showing how people and patients benefited from the use of medicinal marijuana. And I guess we have to get rid, Doc, of maybe an image of the recreational use and look at the medicinal, because I didn't know, again, there were different strains of marijuana. And of course, I think the folks out there, a lot of folks still think that the only way you can take marijuana is through the smoking, and I'm totally against any smoking properties and things like that. But there are other ways. I mean, I saw on that news story that there are other ways that one can ingest. I mean, ingestion of marijuana.
The edible cannabis is probably the best way to get it into your system. Yeah. Because then it goes through what they call first pass hepatic pass through the liver. It lasts longer. It's a lot less intense than smoking it. You can probably get a better titration of the dose that you're actually giving through the edible use. Beyond the combustion or the smoking of it, there is vaporization. And that's a little easier than the smoking of it. Having said that, the smoking of it does cause some changes, atypical changes in the lungs, but nothing compared to what tobacco does, which causes 250,000 deaths a year due to lung cancer.
Yeah, on a daily basis, Doc, you're probably right. I don't know how many prescriptions you're writing on a daily basis. You have prescriptions, you're right, they're probably a lot more potent than marijuana. You did say that you have patients that probably will be able to benefit from the use of maybe certain strains and certain dosage of marijuana, whether be it in the smoking or ingesting, however the form may be, that you may have some patients that can benefit from that.
I would say 10 to 15% of my patients would benefit from it in the same way that I prescribe Xanax or Valium, any of the benzodiazepines that are used as anti-anxiety agents, things for stress, tension, insomnia, muscle spasticity, muscle tension. In the same way that I prescribe those benzodiazepines, I would prescribe the cannabinoids. The benzodiazepines are extremely addictive. There was a very little addiction rate to the cannabinoids.
Mm-hmm. Now, if for someone were, okay, let's advance. Let's say they pass a medicinal use of marijuana, and doctors are able to subscribe, or I mean prescribe this. I guess they would have to be well versed in it, in the different strains and all that. How would one again say how many milligrams, how many tokes, how would you regulate that within the medical community as how to, maybe a pill form, or boil this with that, mix it with your bananas. How would you, again, regulate the milligrams, or can it be milligrammed?
Well, they do that in Marinol.
Okay.
Marinol is, I believe, 10 or 20 milligrams. Sativex is a sublingual spray. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the bottom line is you really don't have to worry about the percentage or the milligrams because it's non-toxic. Nobody has ever died. You cannot overdose on cannabis.
So there's no overdose rate. I mean,
right.
So a body in itself, does it take care of itself? I mean, if you've gotten too much, I mean, you would have toked or eaten too much of it, ingested too much, they put you to sleep, and then and so
Correct.
therefore
nobody has ever died from an overdose of cannabis.
Really?
Right.
Really? Okay. We're gonna take a quick break, come back, and I'll tell the people your story. Okay? We come back. You're right back.